Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series and is intended to aid the Dreamcast and gaming community.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and wow, a new Keep Dreaming episode. I'm glad I get to do another one. So basically this one comes to us courtesy of our friends at HuCast, which is a development company in Germany who makes brand new Dreamcast games. And I love that they do that. That's so awesome. And I got two packages here. This one actually arrived like last month and has just been sitting here on this table on that side, the side you guys never see, and has been sitting there just waiting because I wanted to show you guys what's in it, but it wasn't really worth making its own video for until now that I have an excuse, which is this package. So why don't I go ahead and focus on this one first, and then we'll move on. So yeah, rip that there. Okay, inside we have Redux Dark Matters. Now, I can't believe I didn't remember that. Yeah, Redux Dark Matters for the Dreamcast. This is the limited edition. Now, I've done two videos on Redux. I did a gameplay video that compares Dux 1.5 and Redux, and I also did an unboxing of the Steelcase edition and all that. I had the Steelcase and I had the regular. I just didn't have this one, so I really just picked it up for like collector's reasons. There was really nothing else to it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of the wrapping here and show you guys what it looks like, even though you probably have seen it at this point. But there you go. The top disc is Redux, and the bottom disc is Dux 1.5, and there's the manual, and it has nice DVD artwork. And I have copy number 682. There you go. This is what I would think is really the definitive edition of Redux. So if you've never had Dux 1.5 or Redux, this is probably the one I would recommend. It's a pretty solid game. And, well, Dux 1.5 is a pretty solid game, and Redux is like a reimagining of that same game. And, yeah, you get both of them, so it's pretty cool. Now, moving on to this release. Now, look, I'm just going to open it, and then we'll talk about it. This is the most controversial, as far as I can remember, oh, there's another package in here. The most controversial release in Dreamcast independent scene history. Stormwind might have been until this, just because Stormwind took pre-orders for a long time and then didn't really show us anything for a few years, but it did come out, so, and it's an awesome game. But anyway, so there it is, Dux 1.1, which is the focus of this video, despite how long it took me to get to that. Here you can see on the side, Dux 1.1. I hope you can see that. Dux 1.1. So basically what this is, if I can get to it, is a re-release of Dux 1.5 again, slightly different. Let me look this up. Okay, so there's again the artwork inside. It's a very nice release in of itself. It has this is Dux Disc 1. It says Dux 1.5 on it. So the artwork is different on the discs. Comes with a little manual there, and then underneath that you get the disc that says Dux 1.1, which is disc 2. Now this is what makes this release unique. Dux 1.1 is I can't go so far as to call it a new game. Really all it is Dux 1.5 with the music of Dux 1.0. And there might be some other cosmetic fixes, maybe some bug fixes, I'm not really sure. But really that's what it boils down to, is just that the music is different. Which, it's cool that they also included music CDs. This is the Dux 1.0 soundtrack, and I believe this is the Dux 1.5 soundtrack, though. Yeah, Dux 1.5 soundtrack. So you get a lot of music, and the music in these games are really sweet. Now, I picked this up purely for collector's reasons. There was no other real reason to pick this up. Just cool to have a new release. But the thing about this that makes this controversial is this is now the 4th iteration of this game that we have seen. Dux 1.0, Dux 1.5, Redux, and now Dux 1.1. I'm going to say this directly to HuCast, because I know you guys watch this. I love you guys. I really do. I love that you make new Dreamcast games. There's so few people out there that do that, and thank you for that. But guys, dudes, it is time to move on. It is time to stop re-releasing Dux. You made a good game. You really did. I really like Dux 1.5 and I really like Redux. That's why this release here, this one, is awesome. It really is. I definitely recommend this to anyone out there. But this probably didn't really need to happen. Now, I bought it because I'm a collector. It's what I do. It's my thing. I want to support the independent Dreamcast scene pretty much no matter what. But this was pushing it, unfortunately. And HughCast, you guys, you're too talented for this. You know, unfortunately, people are kind of pissed off about this release because they're like, how many times are you going to keep putting this game out? You guys need to focus on new things. You really do. And I'm not saying that to be upset. I'm not angry with you. I'm just saying it's time to move on. You know, you've got Ghostblade in the works. Work on Ghostblade. Finish up Ghostblade. And please learn the lessons of Dux. Please don't re-release Ghostblade like 4 times. Please don't do that. You guys have so much talent. You could be making new games and continuing to make new games for a long time and get a lot of people to support you. I would highly recommend moving on to fighting games. Now here's the thing, with Dreamcast independent releases, a lot of people say like, well, why don't we get like Shenmue 3 or something 3D, you know, something, why do they look like Genesis games? Which is a stupid complaint. The thing about the independent scene you guys need to understand is that there's a limited budget to work with, and making 3D games is extremely expensive and time consuming. And the amount of copies that are released of these games is simply not enough to justify the cost. So you have to make something simplistic and 2D. Now, the reason shmups happen so often, which is what these games are, you know, you're in a little plane and you shoot at stuff, the reason these happen so often is because, again, they're 2D and they're easier to program, and people buy them. People buy shmups. Whereas they don't really buy too many of the other ones, but fighting games is just an untapped genre waiting to happen. You know, the last 2D fighting game we saw on the Dreamcast, I think, was King of Fighters 2002. 2002. It's now 2014. You guys could be the dudes who make that genre happen. That would be a dream of mine, to start getting fighting games out onto the console. Those are 2D. You can do that. I mean, I'm not a programmer. I don't pretend to know it as well as you guys would, but you could do it. I'm confident you guys could do it. And you can't rely on any other studio to do that, because there's only a handful of guys who still develop games for the Dreamcast. It's, despite their name, Neo Geo Dev Team, I can't imagine will ever make a fighting game, because they focus on the Neo Geo first, and the Neo Geo has nothing but fighting games. So their whole goal is to bring a library of games that are not fighting games over. That's why they make shmups, and that's why they make run and guns, so that they have variety on that console. They just port them to the Dreamcast later just because it's easy. Red Spot Games might do one eventually, but as far as I know, they're not actually actively in development or anything. Watermelon Team has given us Pure Solar, which is a pretty cool RPG. I think they're doing like a Streets of Rage type of clone, which is pretty sweet. HughCast, dude, you guys could be the dudes who make fighting games. That could be your thing, rather than being another guy who makes shmups. I don't mean to come down on you at all. I love what you guys do, but it's time to move beyond Dux. It's time to move beyond shmups, really. And you could do that. You could make fighting games that are awesome. So I know that didn't have a whole lot to do with Dux 1.1 specifically. I'm not even going to bother really showing gameplay of it, because I'm sure it's great. You know, Dux 1.5 was great. I really liked it. And the music in Dux 1.0 was good. I had nothing, you know, no problem with that. I also had no problem with the music in Dux 1.5. But you've seen this. You've seen Dux 1.1, essentially. That's the whole problem, is that's why I don't need to even show you gameplay footage of this. HughCast, I love you guys. I will support you, but I really would love it if you guys would just move on to the next one. It's time to retire Dux. And to everybody out there who's upset about the fact that this game has come out multiple times, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to care. Just buy the ones you want. That's why you should buy this release. This is a solid release with the games, both, you know, Redux and Dux 1.5 are different enough that I would say they're definitely this is definitely worth picking up. That's my opinion. You can watch my video again if you want to see for yourself. But yeah, that's it. I really hope that my dream comes true and you guys move on to fighting games, or it's just another genre. But that's really it. Thank you guys for watching, and again, despite how it sounds like I'm coming down on you guys, thank you, HughCast, for still continuing to support the Dreamcast. So there you go. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.